Hi, this is Kirk, the bariatric carnivore. Well, a lot of times us carnivores, kind of have a live and let live approach when it comes to food. And we really just want to promote, what we eat, and we want to be left alone. But unfortunately, militant vegans don't see it that way, and often will try to inflict their agenda on us. We saw this in New York, where they created meatless Mondays and no meat on Fridays, which means the poor children of New York who rely on the school lunch and breakfast program are devoid of meat potentially from Friday until or from Thursday until Tuesday each week. So they only get a couple of days of meat that's coming, which is going to inherently create problems. And vegans will show up at restaurants, at supermarkets and ranches, etc., dairies, and will engage in terrorist campaigns because, unfortunately, to a lot of these militant vegans, animal husbandry is a form of rape. Confining cattle on a dairy farm is a form of slavery. Slaughtering cattle that you have cared for years and raised from calves is murder. And these people exist, and they do try to inflict their views on the rest of us. Even though veganism, when you think about it, is the only diet that is inherently dangerous to people's health. It creates a dangerous vitamin B12 deficiency that has to be supplemented. If you do not supplement vitamin B12, you're going to die. You're going to be low on iron, copper, a lot of trace minerals, thiamine, etc. And meat is the quickest and best way to overcome these deficiencies, and they don't happen overnight. I mean, it takes, years of being on a vegan diet before you really notice the serious health consequences of it. It's so bad that in countries like Belgium, they will put parents in jail because they are trying to raise their kids vegan because it's inherently an unhealthy diet and they find it to be a form of child abuse. Now, you may be sitting there going, okay, that's fine, but what does this have to do with anything going on now? Well, there was an interesting article in the academic journal Bioethics by two guys, one of them Parker Crutchfield and the other one Blake Hariff, both bioethicists, quote unquote, that work at the University of Western Michigan. And they made the case that it was the right thing to do bioethically to support genetically modifying the Lone Star tick to promote alpha-gal syndrome. Now, alpha-gal syndrome is when you are bitten by the Lone Star tick and it infects you with a certain bacteria that makes you highly allergic to eating red meat. And their position is any attempt to eradicate this tick would be bad because it would spread more meat consumption going on in the planet, that every time somebody gets bit by one of these ticks, they celebrate because people will get sick whenever they eat the meat. And they would like to genetically modify those ticks to spread throughout the country and preferably throughout the entire world to stop meat eating. And this is absolutely sick. Now, what bothers me about it is nobody at Western Michigan, their university, suggested that they be fired. I mean, these two people are trying to promote the idea that we ought to be pushing a bioengineered tick that will potentially sicken millions of Americans, possibly more worldwide, through the use of this Lone Star tick. Nobody is attacking them for that one. Worse yet, we're in an era where a couple of people in our federal government decided, maybe we can do some gain of function research over in Wuhan, China. Created just a couple little problems. You may have noticed some bad things happening in 2020. It doesn't take many of these people to create a huge problem. These people ought to be canceled and denounced from the rooftops. but nobody's saying a damn word about them. And that's kind of the problem, that nobody is recognizing the fact that there are militant vegans out there spreading a bunch of stupid ideas that could potentially really damage the health of large numbers of people. And we need to speak out against it. I mean, come on. Meat eating is the healthiest darn thing. We were designed to eat meat. And the more of it, the better quality meat that you can get, the better off you are. And this is kind of a serious fight. And it is one that we really do need to take seriously, and we need to pay attention to the fact that, hey, carnivores have enemies, and they're serious. They may be small, but they are disruptive as hell. And now they have a potential bioweapon that they can use against us. And you need to be aware of it and speak out against it. And why Doctors Crutchfield and Harif are still employed is beyond me. And I hope you will reach out to whoever you may know then and start calling for these people to be fired. And let's get rid of this meatless Monday and no meat on Friday thing too while you're at it. I mean, the school lunches stink enough without taking out meat. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. If you like this message, please hit like and subscribe. Join this channel of other like-minded folks. I will talk to you again soon.